Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of 6 for 6. I'm your host, Trevor, and we got a lot of great programs for you here tonight on 6 for 6. A lot of things going on in the world of sports, ladies and gentlemen. The Super Bowl this weekend. What an interesting matchup. We got some NBA action for you tonight as well. Also, some women's college hoops, a lot of things heating up in the women's world of college sports right now, with also capping off the sixth slot, ladies and gentlemen, which some NHL, which is a game that I will personally be attending in person. So I'll get some pictures posted on our Instagram and all that stuff here on 6 for 6. Without further ado, let's get a quick recap of our current record of our picks and how well we are doing this season on 6 for 6. So last episode, everybody, we're looking at 4-2. Very good turnaround compared to 1-5 last week. So very good in our picks. Definitely leaps and bounds. Definitely help us improve our 2024 record as 14-15 right now. Looking relatively good right now. Getting back to that 500 ratio. And hopefully we'll get across into the winning side of it, of the percentage. But also our season 3 record right now is 40, 34, and 2. So right now I have to go 0-6 for that to be a tie right now. And I don't think it's happening. So we're increasing our longevity of, separating ourselves from like a bad episode of 6 for 6 where, the losses catch up and we're in some hot water in our season 3 record. But so far we haven't really had a losing season so far, but we'll keep going as 6 for 6 continues to progress. Obviously, season 1 we didn't keep track of our wins and losses, but season 2 we did. So definitely trying to get better than that record. Obviously, it's going to be a lot more because we extended season 3 compared to what it once was. So, like I said, without further ado, let's get on to tonight's program and begin on our way. First up, NHL, ladies and gentlemen, Tampa Bay Lightning, Columbus Blue Jackets, Saturday, February 10th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. On the NHL application, I don't know what the PP stands for. And then we have on ESPN Plus. So, looking at this game, Tampa Bay Lightning, a solid team, 27, 18, and 5 for their overall record, with an away record of 10, 13, and 2. Looking at the Blue Jackets, a rocky, rough start to the season. Not looking too hot, but trying to find a way to turn it around this season. They're looking at 16, 24, 10. Home record stand is 9, 13, and 4. Just a very, very rough patch for the Columbus Blue Jackets. They get some wins here and there, but then they lose here and there as well. So for me in this scenario, yes, I'm being in attendance to this game. So I'm very excited for actually the first ever in-person professional hockey game. I attended some at college at Ohio State and watching the men's team play. Great experience. Love the atmosphere of hockey when I was there. And then I was like saying, well, I eventually should go to a Columbus Blue Jackets game. I kept pushing that off. And then at one summer I was in Tampa Bay when the Tampa Bay Lightning were in the Stanley Cup Finals, but I went to the Lightning Stadium's watch party while they were on the road that year. And it was an electrifying experience, pun intended, as you know, Tampa Bay Lightning with electricity in there. I got my dad joke out of the way so I can cross that off the bucket list for tonight's program. But I just think the Tampa Bay Lightning is just a better squad than the Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets have just been struggling, not really too dominant in some aspects. They beat certain teams and they lose the teams that they shouldn't. So it's really hard to get what you're going to get with this Columbus Blue Jackets team. And that's why I'm going to go with the Tampa Bay Lightning. I don't think there's much needed for it. But like I said, we'll get the pictures and we'll see how that atmosphere goes. We'll get some good things going for that. Definitely great for our Instagram reels and feed for sure to build new traction and new audience members to our platform. So can't wait for that. Next up in the fifth slot, ladies and gentlemen, and like I said, you can catch Tampa Bay Lightning, Blue Jackets Saturday, February 10th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time on ESPN Plus and also on the NHL platform. Next up, we have women's college basketball, number 22, West Virginia versus number 18, Baylor, Saturday, February 10th, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, noon p.m. Pacific Time, Big 12, and on ESPN Plus. Great matchup in this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to pick West Virginia because just looking at the record alone this year has been phenomenal. 20-2 losses, and their conference record is 9-2. So their only losses were in conference play. Baylor, on the other hand, they were 17-4 with a conference record of 6-4. Just not looking great right now. Not looking too hot. But they have a win over Houston, but they lost to Texas and Kansas State, who were the top teams in the respective conference. Well, you look at West Virginia, another top team. So if you're following that trend, I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt to Wisconsin. No, with West Virginia winning it, because you look at the UCF night game that both of these teams played. West Virginia just dominated UCF. The score was 84-43 compared to when Baylor played 77-74. So as you can see here, ladies and gentlemen, Baylor is just not what we think they're going to be. I think they're going to struggle in this one against West Virginia. Yes, they're at home, but I just got to give it to West Virginia. I think they're just a better ball club all around. So you can catch, women's college basketball, West Virginia, number 22 in the nation versus Baylor, number 18 in the nation. Saturday, February 10th, 3 p.m. Eastern time, noon Pacific time on the Big 12 and also on ESPN+. Next up, more women's college basketball. Women's college basketball, Oregon State, number 17 in the nation versus Utah, number 20. Friday night lights, ladies and gentlemen. The Friday night hoops with the ladies going in action in Utah. Going up at 9 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Pacific time on the Pac-12 network, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of good stuff going on right there. A lot of good things brewing in the Pac-12 right now. But Oregon State has beaten Utah already this season, not too long ago on January 28th, where Oregon State just demolished Utah. The score was 91-66. Now, guarantee you that it was at Oregon State. So obviously they came out swinging Oregon State in this scenario. So it's going to give them the slight more edge in this scenario when you already had that head-to-head matchup that wasn't too long ago. So you're going to have recency bias. But then you got to look at the Oregon game back in February, literally 3 days ago, February 4th, where Oregon State barely escaped Oregon, 64-60. Yes, I understand it's a rivalry game. Very important for these two schools. So obviously rivalry games are tough to judge in that scenario. However, when Utah played Oregon, Utah won by 10 to 58-48. But it's just like the matchup in itself. Like, you just don't know what you're going to get for this Utah squad. They're either going to score a lot or they're going to have like a sleepwalk game where they just don't score enough points to get the ball rolling. Where you have Oregon State where they can drop 91. They're averaging close to like high 60s, low 70s in the last 5 games. So very consistent on what you're going to get with this Oregon State ball club versus to Utah. But I think Utah at home is definitely going to be a critical scenario. Literally the last 4 games, they were on the road. So now it's that home stand that's going to get them back in the swing of things, getting ready for March Madness. So I'm going to give it to Utah in this one, ladies and gentlemen. Women's college basketball, Oregon State, number 17 in the nation versus Utah, number 20 in the nation. Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Pacific time on the Pac-12 network. Now we're getting some NBA action, ladies and gentlemen. We got Suns, Warriors, Saturday, February 10th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time on ABC. Woo! The Warriors have been struggling. Every time that we have picked the Warriors, ladies and gentlemen, they have lost. So we are changing it up. We're going to pick against the Warriors. If I pick against the Warriors and the Warriors somehow win, I am just cursed at picking whether the Warriors shall win or lose. So that is a problem in my picks with that. But literally, the Suns out of the last 5 games, they only lost to Atlanta. Lost by 9. But for the Warriors, they lost to the Hawks in overtime. So that's where you're at with these two teams. Now you have a lot of things going back and forth on who they played and all that stuff. And you look at Brooklyn, but you look at the Suns. The Suns are a team that will put up points. They're averaging literally like over the last 5 games, over like 125 points on average, it feels like. Just lighting up the scoreboard where they can. Compared to the Warriors, like, you'll get over 100. It's just like they're not playing defense. That's what it feels like in this scenario. So it's just like there's no defense in the West. The East, you'll get low-scoring games barely cracking 100. And that's what you get on the Eastern side of the NBA. But the Western, lights out, shows out, shooting the ball, going up and down the field, up and down the court. And it's just like, not a clinic, but a thrilling show to watch because it's just high scoring. You got threes, some little bit of slam and jams in there. So definitely going to be an interesting matchup. But I'm going to give it to the Suns over the Warriors to break this Warriors curse that we have right now. Suns, Warriors, Saturday, February 10th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time on ABC. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we got Celtics, Heat, Sunday, February 11th, my bad. February 11th, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time on ABC. Celtics dominating the Eastern Conference with a record of 38-12 compared to the Heat, barely above 500, 27-24. Celtics just dominating, but they lost to the Lakers. They lost to the Clippers, but they beat the Grizzlies, Indiana Pacers, and Pelicans. Now, if you look at the Heat, they lost to the Clippers, but beat the Kings, lost to Phoenix in there. They beat Washington, and they beat the Orlando Magic. I just don't think the Heat are the team that we thought they were. It's just that simple. It's like Boston is just coming out swinging, going on all cylinders. It's just something that you just don't see. That this Boston team is just trying to do something historical to win a title. They have been close for the past few years. Getting over this hurdle is very important because the Bucks, the Milwaukee Bucks, are the team to go through. When Giannis goes down, the Bucks fold in the playoffs, and we've seen that happen before. So the Celtics, in my opinion, remaining healthy, are the best team in the East. Making a statement, I have them, like I said, they are a favorite to win a title, in my opinion, this year. Now, it's, to me, for Boston, I think it's a title or bust in the scenario. So getting this win against the Heat is definitely a pivotal moment for the Boston Celtics. That's my explanation. That's why I'm picking, the Boston Celtics to win this game. So I have Celtics over the Heat. You can catch that Sunday, February 11th, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time on ABC. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the game we want to talk about, the Super Bowl. The 49ers Chiefs, Sunday, February 11th, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time on CBS. We're in Vegas, ladies and gentlemen. The odds against Patrick Mahomes, he's an underdog, according to the percentage a chance of winning. They have Mr. Irrelevant beating the legendary Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Now, give it credit. Brock Purdy has done a phenomenal year managing the games that he's been a part of and winning when they needed to the most. They got on the right win streak at the right time and making things work. However, Patrick Mahomes, when he's an underdog, he made a statement in this scenario. He made a statement. When they played against the Ravens, he was considered an underdog, and he won by a touchdown. Now, for Brock Purdy, seeing against the Lions, where the Lions just didn't keep putting up points on the board and they stopped running the ball in the second half, I don't think the Chiefs are going to make that mistake. It's Andy Reid. The Chiefs have been in the Super Bowl, more experience. Sure, Sean McVay and the 49ers know what, like for Sean, he was on part of the Atlanta Falcons team that choked it away against the Patriots. So he knows what to expect. The Niners been in the Super Bowl 5 years ago, almost 4 to 5 years ago. Well, it was 2016, so that's where it was in 2020 around that time, and not even that. I'm mixing up my years when the Niners and Chiefs were in the Super Bowl. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, but it's the magnitude that this Niners team's going. Like, you got literally, if Brock Purdy loses, it's like a weird Jimmy G clone. That's just like, yes, he's way better than Jimmy G for sure, but like passing yards and all that stuff, he's not afraid to throw the ball and use his legs compared to Jimmy G. So I'm giving Brock Purdy where the props are due. But I just don't think you can leave Patrick Mahomes out in this scenario. Like when the game's on the line and they're down by 7, who are the Chiefs going to throw to? The easy answer, Travis Kelce. And they're going to march on the field and do it. And what are the 49ers going to do about it? Nothing. Because they just don't know how to deal with somebody who can just go up and down the field just like that when the game's on the line. That's like I was telling my dad. It's like watching Brady and Gronk. That's what it was. Like when Tom Brady was down, needed a quick touchdown late in the game. Who did Tom Brady throw to? To Rob Gronkowski. Now, this is literally like Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. When the game's on the line, you need to make something happen. Sure, Patrick Mahomes can use his legs to extend the pocket, but he's going to look to Travis Kelce. So in those scenarios, the Niners will double team, but Travis Kelce is just a beast. You just can't beat him. And that's why I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt to the Chiefs. Now, it's going to be a close game. Don't get me wrong. But there's going to be a bad play call by the refs. And that's how the Chiefs are going to somehow win this game. And Niner fans are going to be upset because that's what happened to the Eagles. There was a bad call, and the Chiefs got good field position, kicked the field goal to win the game. That was it. The Eagles could have had a second Super Bowl, but you have a bad call, and it cost them literally the title. Now, yes, the Niners, if the Niners get out to a good league, then that's going to help. But there's just not enough room of comfort to keep Patrick Mahomes down. Now, you got to keep scoring when you have the ball. That's the only way to keep Patrick Mahomes out of this, but also manage the clock so he's not on the field. You can't score way too fast to give an opportunity to go down the field and eat up much clock in his return effort to go down and score. So that's how you got to play. You got to keep him off the field, but keep your drives long so he doesn't have a chance to do anything too crazy. But I'm giving it to Patrick Mahomes. He's completing the dynasty on Sunday, and that's literally his conversation. He's been to 6 AFC championship games, 4 Super Bowl appearances, about to get his 3rd title. Great career so far. And like people say, like if he continues to win, in my opinion, he needs to win a Super Bowl, at least 2 Super Bowls, without Andy Reid and without Travis Kelce. If he does that, you have him in the discussion with Tom Brady. Yes, Tom Brady, you have Bill Belichick, but Tom Brady's special. So let's make that clear. Tom Brady's, his story is special, but Patrick Mahomes he had a team to be able to do it. But 6 AFC championship games, nothing to snuff at. Very good numbers, very good stats. He's been to the playoffs ever since that year that he started as QB. So he's on that trajectory of the GOAT conversation. Now, him winning it will enhance his resume as he continues to win and stuff like that. So we'll see where that goes for Patrick Mahomes on Super Bowl Sunday. So you can catch the Super Bowl Niners Chiefs Sunday, February 11, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time on CBS. Let's do a quick recap and we'll get you on out of here for tonight's program. So without further ado, let's do a quick bounce. Tampa Bay Lightning, Columbus Blue Jackets, Saturday, February 10th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time on the NHL platform and on ESPN Plus, and I have Tampa Bay Lightning winning it. Next up, women's college basketball, West Virginia, number 22 in the nation versus Baylor, number 18 in the nation. Saturday, February 10th, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, noon Pacific Time on Big 12 and on ESPN Plus, and I have West Virginia winning it. Next up, we have women's college basketball, Oregon State, number 17 in the nation, versus Utah, number 20 in the nation. Friday night, February 9th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time on the Pac-12 network. And I have Utah winning it. Next up, we have Suns Warriors, Saturday, February 10th, 8:30 p.m. Pacific Time, 5:30 p.m. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Time on ABC, and have the Suns winning it. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have Celtics Heat, Sunday, February 11th, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time on ABC, and I have the Celtics winning it. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, the game of the week, Super Bowl 58, 49ers Chiefs, Sunday, February 11, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time on CBS. And I have the Kansas City Chiefs winning it. Let me give you a quick recap of our record. So far in 2024, we're 14-15. So we're looking to get back on the winning side of the record. Last episode, we were 4-2, very solid performance by us in our picks. So we hope forward to continue that momentum. And last but not least, our record for season 3 is 40, 34, and 2. Thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's program. Enjoy all the sporting events going on this week, and also please be safe at the Super Bowl parties that you attend to, and please drink responsibly if you decide to partake in those alcohol beverages. Without further ado, thank you so much for tuning in tonight's program, and we'll catch you all next week on 6 for 6. So long for now. Bye-bye.